Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Godot community. I'm Sarah Rising. I'll be your host for this segment. And if you are here, you're here for elementary visual art. And this is a platform where we, as art teachers, can come together, share ideas, and see what's going on out there across the state of Georgia. If you're new to the episode, thanks for joining us. You're catching us at the tail end, but you can go back and catch up on previous shows. And if you're a returning visitor, thank you as usual for coming back. What we're going to do today is talk a little bit about how we can make those curriculum connections in third and fifth grade. And then what I'm going to ask you to do is remember to subscribe and to share some ideas at the end of this presentation. Like I said, this is part one of a two-part series on curriculum connections. And what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is how you can use your platform in the art room and make those connections with fourth grade. So I'm going to show you a number of idea starters. These aren't really lessons. This is more idea starters. So the first part I'm going to talk to you about is social studies, and then I will get into geography, and then we'll get into the economics. And looking at the curriculum, if you're not familiar with it, perhaps you can talk to your classroom teachers in those grades 3 through 5. But typically, history, geography, civics, and economics are covered at some level in third, fourth, and fifth grade. All right, so with that background in mind, I'll jump back into the social studies aspect. So one of the things fourth graders look at people of historical significance. And actually this can work in third grade and fifth grade, but they get heavily into it in fourth grade. So what you can do is talk to your teachers about what they're doing. Sometimes they have pretty big events aligned with that. But my thoughts on the historical self-portraits and what you can do is go into the explanation of it and explain to your students that a portrait is an artwork that depicts a person or an animal, and that many famous artists throughout history have created portraits depicting that person or animal. So you can have the students select an important historical figure that they may be studying within the classroom, or someone that they admire, and you can take it one of two ways. I've done it both ways, where they're actually studying the artist, which they already might be doing if they're in fourth grade. And then you can talk about the environment and the setting and the times and what that person would most likely be dressed as. So it involves a little research. But you can also twist it around a little bit and have the person do their self-portrait in the body of the historical figure. So that's one example you guys can go with. The next idea here, you can share with them and ideas of different artists who have worked in this medium and who have created this and the different styles. And there are lots of resources out there. And again, this segment is simply just to get ideas starting for you, because there were so many ideas I felt like I didn't want to lock into just one idea. So I'm just going to throw lots of ideas out there at you. So here's some ideas for that. The next thing that you can do, because there is a geography component to the social studies unit, using maps to inspire arts integration. And I linked on here where I got this idea. And this particular person goes into how the history of maps, where they're from, people that make them, how they're important to society. But then he also goes into how artists are using maps as the basis for their artwork. Students are probably learning how to create map keys, how to read maps, and then they're learning about the geographic layout of the United States. So they're learning about map and globe skills. I put here for us different ways and pose to the students, how can maps become art? Looking at ideas that you can use to show this. Over here I've listed an identity map, and again using the key and the rose compass. And then this one can be tied into color studies using more studies of topography, but then you can incorporate shape and color within that. And then the last three is more of a repurposing. So using maps, you can collect maps, have students bring them in, and use those in other ways as a substrate for the art, or other ways that you can use use maps in your art making. All right, the next section that I have, this one is how economics can become art. So students study economic skills as part of the 3rd through 5th grade U.S. history curriculum, and they look at goods and services. They look at ways that inventions have come into play. They look at technology. So I've done this one here especially, where the kids use the engineering and design process to come up with an invention. So they work through brainstorming and they come up with ideas, and it goes into a couple 2 or 3 day project where they have to draw out their ideas, they have to write it, and then if you click on this link, this will take you to a whole section on kid ideas and how they've come to light. I want to show you that one. So as you can see, what they've done on this site is the kid has the invention, and then the inventors have actually turned the product into something real. So this one I love. It was the scoops of the potato chip can and getting the chips out of the bottom, and then you can see how someone has invented the way to get those out. The toothbrush, so actual engineers have created that. So that's a nice, interesting lesson to do with the kids. All right, a second way that you can incorporate economics into the art making lesson, and this goes a little bit back to map making, and it also talks a little bit about the geography. And this is a travel poster for, this is just a vintage style poster, but as you can see, you can have students create either a brochure or a poster or something to promote travel. And that way they can focus on the geographical areas of the country, and they can also incorporate, you can talk to them about shapes, and you can work with fonts and design in that respect. Finally, one of the last lesson starters I have for you is incorporating pop art into advertising. In 5th grade, they study the effects of technology and including space travel, and television. So you could work on an advertisement for that. Again, they go back into economics and needs and wants, and they could create an advertising design for a particular product with the pop art theme in that. So you'd have to go through the pop art section and go through some of the things they're doing in the social studies unit and what they're studying, depending on their grade level. So hopefully these 3 things can get you thinking about how you can match up your art curriculum back into the economics section. And again, the economics, like I said, goods and services comes through there. Advertisements for important inventions like the cotton gin, the steamboat, the steam locomotive can all relate to modern inventions. You can talk about the technology and the advancements that were happening then, and have the kids perhaps predict the future and what that technology will bring. All right, so hopefully that will get those creative juices flowing for you guys. Get these ideas out there and see what you can do to connect your art room with the social studies unit. What I'd like you to do before you go is, if you are doing things like this in your classroom, please share the ideas and successes that you're having relating to this curriculum. Are you working with the classroom teachers? Are you getting feedback from your students? So let us know what you're doing, And remember to subscribe so that you can see when others are posting and responding too. Finally, this is, if you've missed anything, this is the social link, and there's our Godot website and the YouTube where you can also find some media. So check us out, and I want to thank you guys again for joining us, and I hope you have a great day. See you later.